From a young age, women are bombarded with messages about their bodies. These messages are everywhere. We see them on television, in movies, and in magazines. Social media amplifies these messages. It's a constant stream of images and ideals. These ideals are often unattainable. These cultural messages tell us that we need to be thin, but also curvy. We need to be sexy, but also innocent. We need to be feminine, but also strong. It's a confusing and contradictory message. This leaves many women feeling inadequate. They feel like they can never measure up to these impossible standards. This pressure to conform can have a devastating impact on women's self-esteem. It impacts their body image. It can also lead to eating disorders, anxiety, and depression. We internalize these messages. We start to believe them. We judge ourselves and each other harshly. It's time to challenge these harmful norms. We need to redefine beauty. We are more than our bodies. It's time to embrace our individuality. The pressure to conform to these unrealistic beauty standards can weigh heavily on women's minds and bodies. This pressure can manifest in different ways. It can lead to disordered eating, excessive exercise, and body dysmorphia. Women may go to extreme lengths to alter their appearance. They might resort to cosmetic surgery or dangerous diet pills. This pursuit of an elusive ideal can be physically and emotionally damaging. It's important to remember that our worth is not defined by our appearance. We are valuable and worthy, regardless of our size, shape, or skin tone. It's time to shift the focus from external validation to internal acceptance. We need to start celebrating our bodies for what they can do, not just for how they look. Our bodies are capable of amazing things. They carry us through life, allow us to experience joy, and connect with others. It's time to appreciate our bodies for the incredible vessels they are. The cultural messages we internalize can also impact our relationship with sex and intimacy. Women are often taught to feel ashamed of their bodies and their sexuality. This shame can manifest in different ways. It can lead to low self-esteem, anxiety around sex, and difficulty experiencing pleasure. Some women may avoid intimacy altogether due to these feelings of shame. This is not something to be taken lightly. It's crucial that we create a culture where women feel empowered to embrace their sexuality. They should feel comfortable in their own skin. Open communication about sex and sexuality is essential. We need to create safe spaces for women to explore their desires and express their needs without fear of judgment. One way to challenge these rigid norms is to broaden our understanding of what's considered normal when it comes to bodies. This is where the concept of intersex variations comes in. Intersex people are born with sex characteristics that don't fit typical binary notions of male or female. This might include variations in chromosomes, hormones, or genitalia. Intersex variations are naturally occurring and are not a medical problem. They are simply a part of the spectrum of human diversity. Recognizing and understanding intersex variations challenges the idea that there are only two sexes. It disrupts the binary thinking that underpins much of the discrimination and stigma surrounding bodies and sexuality. Beyond the binary understanding intersex identity, intersex people are often assigned a sex at birth based on external genitalia. This can lead to unnecessary medical interventions that can have long-term physical and emotional consequences. It's important to remember that a person's sex assigned at birth does not always align with their gender identity. Intersex people, like all individuals, have the right to define their own gender identity and to have that identity respected by others. Understanding and respecting intersex identities is crucial for creating a more inclusive and equitable society. It's about recognizing the full spectrum of human diversity and challenging the binary thinking that limits our understanding of ourselves and each other. Intersex invisibility, challenging the silence. Despite the fact that intersex variations are relatively common, there's a lot of silence and stigma surrounding intersex issues. This lack of visibility can make it difficult for intersex people to find support and community. It can also lead to feelings of isolation and shame. We need to break the silence surrounding intersex variations and create spaces for open and honest conversations about sex, gender, and bodily diversity. Education is key to challenging misinformation and fostering empathy. We need to educate ourselves and others about intersex issues and advocate for the rights of intersex people to live authentically and openly. Reclaiming our bodies, a journey of self-acceptance. Challenging cultural norms and embracing diversity starts with self-love and acceptance. It's about looking in the mirror and appreciating the body that you have, regardless of its perceived flaws or imperfections. It's about recognizing that your body is your own, and you have the right to feel comfortable and confident in your own skin. This journey of self-acceptance is not always easy. It takes time, patience, and self-compassion. It might involve unlearning years of negative self-talk and societal conditioning, but it's a journey worth taking. The beauty of diversity. Celebrating our differences. Imagine a world where we celebrated the diversity of human bodies, instead of trying to fit everyone into a narrow box. A world where different shapes, sizes, colors, and variations were not just accepted, but celebrated. This is the kind of world we should strive to create. Embracing diversity is not just about tolerance, it's about appreciation. It's about recognizing that our differences make us unique and beautiful. It's about challenging the notion that there's only one way to be beautiful, one way to be feminine, one way to be human. Building a community of acceptance and support. Creating a world where everyone feels comfortable and confident in their own skin requires collective action. It requires building communities of support and acceptance where we can challenge harmful norms and celebrate our differences. This can involve surrounding ourselves with positive influences, engaging in open and honest conversations about body image and sexuality, and supporting organizations that advocate for body positivity and inclusivity. It also means being mindful of the language we use and the messages we send to others. Let's strive to be kind, compassionate, and uplifting in our interactions. Let's create a world where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued for who they are. A call to action: embracing inclusivity. Challenging cultural norms and embracing diversity is not a passive endeavor. It requires action. It requires us to be critical of the messages we consume, to speak out against injustice, and to actively promote inclusivity in our communities. We can start by challenging fatphobia, transphobia, and all forms of discrimination based on appearance or identity. We can support businesses and organizations that prioritize diversity and inclusion. We can educate ourselves and others about the harmful effects of unrealistic beauty standards. Most importantly, we can be kind to ourselves and to each other. Let's create a world where everyone feels empowered to embrace their authentic selves without fear of judgment or discrimination. Breaking free. Embracing our authentic selves. It's time to break free from the constraints of cultural norms and embrace our authentic selves. It's time to celebrate the diversity of human bodies and experiences. It's time to create a world where everyone feels comfortable and confident in their own skin. Let's challenge the status quo, embrace our differences, and build a more inclusive and equitable world for all. This is a call to action, an invitation to join the movement towards body positivity, self-love, and acceptance. Let's start a conversation. Share your thoughts, experiences, and ideas in the comments below. Subscribe for more empowering content. Let's create a community of support and inspiration. Remember, you are beautiful, you are worthy, and you are enough, just the way you are.